Good morning, it's Trisha with Easy E-mini Trade, and this morning I'm going to go over just picking out areas of support and resistance that you can use for your targets. And I'm going to be doing a webinar on Wednesday, October 2nd at 4 p.m. And I'll show you how to find support and resistance that you can use for targets. I'll show you an easy way that you can locate these areas using a volume profile. And then I'll show you also during that webinar how to take a high probability breakout or breakdown trade. So I'm just going to show you a couple little things here this morning, and I hope you find them helpful. And if you want more info on the upcoming webinar, just go to easyeMinitrade.com and click on the tab at the top of the page that says upcoming webinar. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a 1-minute chart of NQ this morning. Obviously it's pre-market, but I'll just show you on this. It's just as easy. So I have a 1-minute setup that I like to trade, and I'm not saying, go ahead and trade it pre-market. It's just easier to show you with the volume profile over here. So over here on the right-hand side, you've got the volume profile, and this is basically telling us different price levels and the volume at each level. So wherever you have high concentration of volume is generally going to be an area where price is likely to hesitate. And so I will mark areas of support and resistance as they occur as I'm trading. Intraday off a 1-minute or a 5-minute chart, whatever chart, I can easily see the areas where price is struggling. And I will use a 15-minute chart to find major areas of support and resistance, and those are the ones that I always have on my entry chart, and I'll adjust them accordingly each day. But I leave them on there because the thing about support and resistance areas is that they are continually repeatable. You'll find when price finds their way back there, even if it's a week later, a month later, a year later, price generally is going to react. So if you get proficient at picking out these areas, it makes it a little easier to basically decide what is realistic in waiting for your target. So for example here, I had a buy right here on this 1-minute chart. And so if I was to take that, I would look to the left and see the area where I have some congestion. I can look at my volume profile wherever I have congestion, and I can use that same area. So in looking at this, I would first look at this general area right here, and I'm just going to put a horizontal line here. I would look at this general area here because this looks like a common area. You could see it reacting here as support, trading all around this area here and here and here, trades through and then holds it as resistance before it pops up again. So if I was taking this trade short, I would first look at this area as my first reaction area, and then I would look over to the left again, and then I would see this general area over here, and I would use that as my general reaction area. And then I would go to this tail, and then I would go down to the previous day's low. So what my first inclination would be: target 1, target 2 area, target 3 area, target 4 area. And I'm not saying to exit in 4 stages, but if, let's say that you were trading into a support area and you could wait till price gets through it, move your stop to just above that area in the event that it can trade down to target 2, do the same at target 2, and hope that it gets to target 3 and target 4, etc. And if it's a sideways market, you're generally going to be better to just take it all off at the first target. And what I would definitely like to challenge you all to do is basically just keep track. Just write down on a piece of paper what your target is, or on your spreadsheet, wherever it is, target 1, target 2, and target 3, let's say. And you can just use target 1 or 2. And just keep a record of how often it hits the areas that you're picking out, as opposed to just using an arbitrary figure of like 12 ticks, 16 ticks, 20 ticks. And I think what will amaze you is how often, if we're patient enough, it actually can trade down to, the area that you're picking as your second target area. So that's what I would urge you to do. Here's another setup here. This one here on the upside, this was valid as well. Again, pre-market, but so what I would look at if I wanted to take this trade is I would look over here to the left, and in looking at these bars over here, to my left, I would say probably this area here would have to be an area that I would be aware of, because this is where we have a lot of reaction. And then if it can get through there, then I would be looking up at this general area here, and then up at this general area here. So if I take this buy, you can see it attempts to get through this first target area of this 1050. It doesn't trade up to the 12 exactly. What did it trade up to? It traded up to 1150. So realistically, let's say you were looking at this first target area. You can wait till price gets through it, move your stop just under that area, and then when it pulls back, you still are winding up with the same amount as if you just took it off at the first target area. But if you had your target sitting up here, in the event that it could pop through, then it didn't hit that. But if you had it sitting there and it did, then you could get that as your target. So you can let it trade through, move your stop, and then worst case, you get your first target anyway. Down here, short setting up. And I mean, we're sideways. So realistically, if you're sideways and you have strong support and resistance, you could short off resistance, buy off support. I'm just showing you this based on, looking to the left for target areas. So now in this one here with this setup here, so now what I would probably do is and you could move these as they form new areas of support or resistance that you might want to be paying attention to. You can adjust these. So now in taking this here, I would be looking at this area here as my target. Then we still have this area here, and then the next one is here at 350, and then down here at the low from yesterday. Now, I don't generally take trades in the round number area. I usually have like a zone just above and just below, but for the sake of this explanation, this works out just fine. So I hope that you find that helpful. I'll go over more ways that you can use support and resistance and your targets during that webinar on next Wednesday, the 2nd, and then I'll show you how you could take high probability breakout and breakdown trades as well. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will chat with you all later.